One of the earliest crypto investors is backed over 30 unicorns, including Tesla, SpaceX, Skype, Coinbase, and Robinhood, just to name a few of his big winnings. Joining us right now, venture capitalist Tim Draper. He's the founder and managing director of Draper Associates. Good morning to you, Tim. It's great to see you. As I mentioned, you have been early and early often with a lot of things, and one of them is Bitcoin. You have a particular view that we are about to go on a new rocket ship as it relates to Bitcoin.
This is a really exciting time for the world in so many ways, where Bitcoin's going to completely transform the economy. And I mean, three things that are really major. One is Bitcoin's going to completely transform the economy. One is that AI is going to take all our jobs. And one is that stem cells are going to make us live forever. So Bitcoin, live forever, and lose your job.
That's a lot to contemplate all at one time. Maybe we might need the Bitcoin to fund the UBI or whatever is going to happen. But we're looking at Bitcoin right now
at about
$110,000, $111,000. What is your bull case for what happens next? We've obviously had a big run up. There's been a little bit of a pullback more recently. What is the next inflection point if you see one?
So I've been predicting $250,000 for a Bitcoin for a long time, and turns out I haven't been right yet. But we've gotten halfway there, so that's very exciting. But Bitcoin is a hedge against bad governance, against government spending, inflation, which you heard from the last speaker. Bitcoin is your alternative that allows you to deal with the major changes that are happening in government policies over time, and you're seeing it in many different places, and it's sort of, Bitcoin started in places where you wouldn't expect something to start. It started in Nigeria and in Argentina and in El Salvador and in Malta,
right?
Places where you would think new technologies wouldn't really occur, except those were the places where, in the case of Malta, it was freedom, but in the other cases, right, they weren't confident about currencies. And over the long haul, we're seeing government spending just, uncontrolled, and it just keeps going. Government spending as a percentage of GDP has gone on a rapid tear over the last 100 years, and it doesn't look like it's slowing down in any way. And your only hedge against that kind of government spending is Bitcoin, unless you want to hold gold, which is like holding onto shells, or
right.
It's like being prehistoric in your thinking about.
Tim, what is your take then? Talking about government spending and free markets and all the things all wrapped up in one in this decision by the Trump administration to take a stake in Intel.
Yeah, I think, well, it's interesting. That was both administrations. One actually made it possible, and the other one just decided where to put it. But in both cases, our government is spending more money, and that takes away from the free markets. I'm a believer in free markets. I'm a believer in free trade, and where the government gets involved, it always slows down the economy. And that's true in every situation, every government. Socialism just never has worked, never will work. Capitalism is it's just a better system of government.
Tim, what do you make of the idea? We heard from Kevin Hassett saying, look, they want to build, this administration wants to build a sovereign wealth fund. He talks about taking stakes, not just in an Intel for national security reasons or something else, but sounds like he wants to take stakes in other companies as well.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think a sovereign wealth fund is a way to keep Congress from taking the money and spending it. And so I kind of get it. But on the other hand, why don't we just restrict Congress? There are so many better ways to operate. But I mean, I think as an investor, a hedge against all of bad governance is to buy Bitcoin. So I think this is a really good time for Bitcoin. I think the government is aligned with us in saying, hey, we're gonna create clear regulations for cryptocurrencies and stable coins and a number of other new technologies. And at the same time, government spending just keeps going up. And it doesn't matter whether it's a Republican or a Democrat in there.
I get that there's obviously a limited amount of Bitcoin, or there will be in this world. So that argument obviously stacks up relative to fiat currencies. But when you see other cryptocurrencies take off, like Ethereum has in the last few months, I guess there's a pushback to the Bitcoin argument, which is there's not a limited amount of cryptocurrencies out there. So what's the argument against that there can't be debasement via just new cryptos appearing and soaring like Ethereum has?
Oh, I think there will be many other cryptocurrencies. Competition is good for the world, but as a percentage of all cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, with the first boom, they had 40% market share. With the next boom, they had 50% market share. And now market share is running around 61, 62%. Over time, the dominant supplier builds the strongest network. And so all the programmers program to that dominant supplier. A lot of really interesting, innovative things happened when Microsoft was getting going, and they were the platform everybody built on. But there were a few really important applications, and they all got ported to Microsoft. Well, the same thing's happening now with Bitcoin. All of these smaller cryptocurrencies are experimenting and doing interesting things. And all the great engineers are porting those to Bitcoin. And so there is a gravitational pull toward Bitcoin. And yeah, there are other currencies that will come up as flashes in the pan. But I think overall, we've got a major trend toward Bitcoin.